Janardhan Reddy. In this video, I am going to tell you about another defect of vision called hypermetropia and its correction. And it is also known as farsightedness. In the previous video, I covered one defect of vision called myopia and its correction. And here I will cover hypermetropia and its correction. Okay, so in case of myopic eye lens has the problem of adjusting the maximum focal length for distant objects, and it is less than 2.5 centimeters. That is, f maximum is less than 2.5 centimeters in case of myopic and in case of hyperopic eye lens has the problem of adjusting the minimum focal length for nearby objects, and it is greater than 2.25, it is greater than 2.27 centimeters. So due to the accommodation of eye, one more defect occurs, that is hypermetropia. So in hypermetropia, eye lens cannot adjust the minimum focal length as it requires, isn't it? So the minimum focal length is greater than 2.27 centimeters in case of hyperopic eye. Okay. So here I am giving you the definition of hypermetropia. Hypermetropia, and it is also known as farsightedness. Okay, so what is hypermetropia? Here is the definition. A defect of vision in which distant objects are seen clearly but cannot see the nearby objects clearly is known as hypermetropia. So here I am writing the same definition. A defect of vision in which distant objects are seen clearly but cannot see the nearby objects clearly is known as hypermetropia, and this is exactly opposite to myopia. In case of myopia, distant objects are not seen clearly but close by objects are seen clearly. But here in hypermetropia, distant objects are seen clearly but close objects, that is nearby objects, are not seen clearly. Okay, so these two defects are opposite to one another. So for normal eye, we know that the far point, that is the point of maximum distance at which objects are seen clearly, is almost infinity. That means normal eye can see objects even at infinity. That is, far point is located almost at infinity, and the near point, that is the point of minimum distance where objects are seen clearly, is located about 25 centimeters. That is in case of normal eye. Okay, so see here the same thing here I am writing. We know that the near point of a normal eye is located about 25 centimeters from the eye, and the far point is located at infinity. But in this case, hyperopic eye, in hypermetropia, an eye suffering from hypermetropia, the near point is not located at 25 centimeters because hyperopic eye cannot see the objects placed at 25 centimeters distance. So the near point will be shifted away from the eye. Okay, so the near point will be shifted several hundred centimeters in case of hypermetropia. Okay, so here, see here, a far-sightedness person can see distant objects clearly but cannot see nearby objects because The near point is not located at L, that is least distance of distinct vision for that person. So the near point might have been shifted to several hundred centimeters, maybe around 150 centimeters, 100 centimeters, like that. That's why when an object is placed at the least distance of distinct vision, he cannot see it clearly because the images of nearby objects will be formed behind the retina. Why? Because here the minimum focal length should be 2.27 centimeters actually in case of normal eye. But here the minimum focal length is more than 2.27 centimeters. Hence, the images of objects, nearby objects, will be formed behind the retina. So that images are not seen clearly. Okay. So here, to understand the concept of hypermetropia, here I am showing a small activity. Imagine that he is the normal person. That means he doesn't have any defects of vision. So it is the normal eye. Now I will place some text written on a sheet of paper in front of his eyes at the least distance of distinct vision, that is at L, 25 centimeters. Okay. See here, this is the sheet of paper on which some text has been written, and I placed this sheet of paper at the least distance of distinct vision, that is 25 centimeters in his case. Okay. Let us check whether he can able to see the letters written on the sheet of paper clearly or not. I am talking with respect to him. He can able to see the letters clearly without blurred vision. He can able to see the letters written on the sheet of paper clearly. That means in his case the near point is at L only. So 25 centimeter distance, the near point is located at 25 centimeters distance from his eyes. So least distance of distinct vision and the near point both are at the same location. Okay, so he can able to see things from 25 to infinity. So in his case the near point is located at 25 centimeters and the far point is located almost at infinity in case of normal eye. Okay, now let us imagine that the person below has the defect of hypermetropia. He is suffering from hypermetropia. You know what is hypermetropia? A person suffering from hypermetropia can able to see the distant objects clearly but cannot see the close by objects, nearby objects. Okay, so here is the same person, that is a person suffering from hypermetropia. These are the hyperopic eyes. Okay, now the same sheet of paper I am going to place in front of his eyes at the least distance of distinct vision, that is 25 centimeters distance. See here, let us place it. See here, he cannot able to see the printed letters on the sheet of paper when it is placed at the least distance of the distinct vision, isn't it? So a blurred vision appears to him because the image of these letters, the images of these letters will be fallen behind his retina, because the minimum focal length in his case is greater than 2.27 centimeters. That is very important. Later I will explain it. Okay, so the near point, what is the near point? The point, the near point is nothing but the point of minimum distance where things are seen clearly is called as the near point. In his case, the near point has been shifted from L to some several centimeters. Okay, that means now I will move this sheet of paper slowly away from his eyes until he can see the printed letters clearly. That means at that position he has the near point. Okay, I am moving it. So he looks the letters somewhat better. Let us move it further. Still somewhat better, because I will move this sheet of paper until he can able to see the letters very clearly. That's all. At this position, he can able to see the letters clearly written on the sheet of paper. That means in his case, the near point has been shifted from L to here. So the near point is not located at 25 centimeters. It is located more than 25 centimeters. So this is called as the near point in his case, because this fellow is suffering from hypermetropia. And this is very important thing. He can able to see the things from here to up to infinity. He can see even stars also very clearly. From here to up to infinity, he can able to see the things clearly. Below this, isn't it? He cannot able to see. So let us see here. This is called as the near point. The near point is not located at 25 centimeters in his case. Okay. So here is the point of least distance of distinct vision, and in his case the near point has been shifted from L to H here. I will call the near point as H because H means hypermetropia. Okay, so if an object is placed between H and L, from L to H, he cannot able to see the things clearly, isn't it? When it is placed from H to up to infinity, he can see the things clearly. So between H and L, he cannot able to see the things clearly, and beyond H, beyond the near point, he can able to see the things clearly. So this is called as the near point. So actually from H to infinity, he can see the things clearly. So this is called as the near point in his case. Okay. So he can able to see from here to up to infinity. That means he can able to see even stars also clearly. See here, he looks clearly even stars also. Okay. So from L to H, he cannot see. From H to infinity, he can see. That's all. See here. Here I am showing you a normal eye. Assume that this one is the normal eye, and this is the eye lens, and let us say this one is the principal axis, and here is L. L is the least distance of the distinct vision. For normal eye, it is 25 centimeters, and This normal eye sees from L to up to infinity. Sees up to infinity. From L to infinity, this normal eye can see. Okay. So here what is L? L is the least distance of distinct vision. Okay. And here I am showing you hyperopic eye. That is eye suffering from hypermetropia. Here one more eye is there. It is hyperopic eye. Okay. And it has the problem of adjusting minimum focal length in case of nearby objects. And here is the principal axis. Here is L, that is the least distance of the distinct vision point, and here is H. Just now I have explained you what is H. H is the near point. So this hyperopic eye can able to see the things from H to infinity. If an object is placed between H and L, he cannot see. See here, cannot see. From L to H, cannot see. From H to infinity, sees up to infinity from H. That means the near point has been shifted from L to H in his case. So H is the near point. The point of minimum distance at which objects are seen clearly is called as the near point, and it is represented by the letter H, H for hypermetropia. Okay. Here I am writing the definition of near point. See here, the point of least distance at which eye lens forms a clear image on the retina is called the near point. You know, for the normal eye, it is 25 centimeters, and eye with hypermetropia is more than 25 centimeters. Okay, and for the normal eye, you know this. The minimum focal length when an object is placed at 25 centimeters distance is 2.27 centimeters for normal eye. You know the limits of focal length in case of normal eye. We have already learned these things. F maximum should be 2.5 centimeters and F minimum should be 2.27 centimeters. Okay. And in case of normal eye, when the object is placed at the distance of 25 centimeters, and it should have the minimum focal length of 2.27 centimeters. But for an hyperopic eye, see here, for the eye with hypermetropia, the minimum focal length when an object is placed at a 25 centimeter distance is more than 2.27 centimeters, and hence the image is formed beyond retina. Okay, so here why it is happening like this means, in case of hypermetropia, F minimum is more than 2.27 centimeters. Hence, objects placed between H and L, their images are formed behind the retina. Hence, they are not visible clearly. Okay. So the same here I am showing you the focal length, normal eye. this one is the normal eye. Okay, and here is L is called as the point of the least distance of the distinct vision, you know this. So let us place an object at L. So in this case, the minimum focal length is 2.27 centimeters. That's why its image will be formed on the retina clearly. So O is the point object. Here I am taking three rays, incident rays, falling on the eye lens. After refraction, the image will be formed on the retina clearly. So here is the image. So in this case, the minimum focal length is exactly 2.27 centimeters somewhere here. Okay. Now, so for normal eye, F minimum equal to 2.27 centimeters. Image is formed on the retina. So here L is the least distance of distinct vision point and O is the point object. And here is an hyperopic eye, that is the eye suffering from hypermetropia. Assume that this is an hyperopic eye, and the eye lens has the minimum focal length greater than 2.27 centimeters. Here is L. L is the least distance of the distinct vision point, and here I am placing the same point object at L. Now O is the point object placed at L, and here are the three incident rays. After refraction, these refracted rays will form the image behind the retina somewhere here, because the minimum focal length is greater than 2.27 centimeters in this case. See here, image is forming here. The image of the point object O has been formed behind the retina here. Why? Because the minimum focal length is greater than 2.27 centimeters. From here to here, it is greater than 2.27 centimeters. Imagine like that. Previously, the focal point was there somewhere here. Now the focal point has been shifted to here, isn't it? So the focal length has been increased in this case. In case of hyperopic eye, F minimum is greater than 2.27 centimeters. Hence, images will be formed behind the retina. Okay. So for hyperopic eye, F minimum is greater than 2.27 centimeters. Image is formed behind the retina. So L is the least distance of distinct vision and O is the point object. Okay. Here, let us draw the ray diagrams related to hyperopic eye. By using these ray diagrams, we can uh, better understand the concept of hypermetropia. What is hypermetropia? So, the first ray diagram in case of hyperopic eye is when object is at L, and this one is the hyperopic eye. Okay, and here is the principal axis, and you know L is the least distance of the distinct vision point, and here H is the near point. You know, in his case, objects are seen from H to infinity. If an object is placed between L and H, he cannot able to see it clearly. Okay. Now, when object is at L, Now here I am going to place a point object O at L. Okay, what happens here? Here the minimum focal length of this eye lens is greater than 2.27. Hence, its image will be formed behind retina somewhere here. These are the three rays I am taking. After refraction, they will form the image behind retina here. That's why this image cannot be seen clearly. Okay. So image is here. What is the result here? What is H here? H is the near point and L is the least distance of the distinct vision. Okay. And what is the result of this ray diagram? When an object is placed at L, the image is formed behind the retina if light could pass through it. If light passes through retina, the image would have been formed here. Okay, so image is not formed on the retina, that's why it is not visible. Next, second case is, let us place the object between H and L. When object is between H and L, you can understand this very clearly because from L to H he cannot able to see. See here, this is the hyperopic eye and here is the principal axis. L is the point of least distance of the distinct vision, H is the near point. Now I am going to place the point object between H and L somewhere here. So O is the point object. Now again its image will be formed behind the retina only. See here, these are the refracted rays and these refracted rays if pass through retina will form the image here. That's why the image is not seen clearly in this case also. H is the near point, L is the least distance of the distinct vision. So between H and L, even at L also he cannot able to see the things clearly. So what is the result? The image is formed behind the retina if light could pass through it. So he cannot see the object. Now I will place the object at H, that is H means what? Near point. You can guess easily whether he can able to see the object placed at H or not. I already told you from the near point H to infinity he can able to see the things clearly. H is called as the near point. That is the point of minimum distance at which an hyperopic eye can able to see the things clearly is called as the near point. I already gave you the definition also. So this one is the principal axis, L is the least distance of the distinct vision point, H is the near point. Now a point object O is placed at H. O is the point object. It has been placed at H. So here I am taking the three incident rays and after refraction the refracted rays will form the image on the retina only. So here image is formed on the retina, that's why he can able to see the point object clearly. So H is the near point, L is the least distance of distinct vision point and the image is formed on the retina in this case. so he can able to see the image or object. Now let us place the point object beyond H. Okay. In this case also you can imagine from H to infinity he doesn't have any problem. He can see the things clearly. So L is the point of least distance of the distant vision. It is 25 centimeters. H is the near point. Now I am going to place the point object somewhere here beyond H. O is the point object. So definitely its image will be formed again on the retina only. From H to infinity, he can able to see the things clear. Okay. So the refracted rays will form the image on the retina, isn't it? So image is on the retina. H, next L. And what is the result of this ray diagram? You see here, image has been formed on the retina, so he can able to see the point object placed beyond H. The image is formed on the retina. Okay. So here, correction of hypermetropia. How do we correct the defect of vision, hypermetropia? To correct the defect of hypermetropia, we need to use a lens that should form the image at H or beyond H of the objects placed between H and L. See here, the eye lens can form clear image on retina when an object is at H or beyond H. From the near point to up to infinity, the eye lens can form the clear image in case of hypermetropia. See here, but when the object is between H and L, then it cannot form an image on the retina. So, to correct the defect of hypermetropia, we need to use a lens which forms an image of an object beyond H when the object is between H and L. Suppose things are there between H and L. Their images should be formed at H or beyond H by that lens. Then the images formed by that lens will act as the object for the eye lens, and the eye lens will form the final image on the retina. Okay, so we have to use a double convex lens to correct hypermetropia. In correcting the myopia, we have used the lens, that is the concave lens we have used. Here we have to use a double convex lens in order to correct hypermetropia, and this double convex lens will form the images of the objects between H and L, and their images will be formed at H or beyond H. Okay, then the eye lens will form the final image on the retina. Okay, so let us remind the action of double convex lens once again, because we have already learned all these things in the ray diagrams. Okay, so the double convex lens will form only in one case virtual image. It will form the virtual image only in one case, when the object is placed between focal point and the optic center. The convex lens will form its image on the same side of the object. Okay, and that is the virtual image. Magnified virtual images will be formed. Okay, see here. So here, let me tell you the action of convex lens once again, because I am going to use this convex lens to correct the hypermetropia. When an object is placed between focal point and optic center in case of a convex lens, it forms a virtual image on the same side of the object. We have known this. This one is the double convex lens. P is its optic center. The horizontal line passing through the optic center is called principal axis. C1, F1, C2, F2. Now I am going to place an object between P and F. When the object is placed between the focal point and the optic center, its image will be formed on the same side. Okay, so here O is the point object. These are the incident rays. After refraction, they will pass like this, isn't it? So these are the refracted rays. These refracted rays are almost divergent rays actually, and if you extend them backwards, they never cross one another. That's why the image will not be formed this side to the right side. Then what you have to do? We have to extend all the refracted rays backwards, and wherever these refracted rays, wherever these extended refracted rays meet, at that point the image will be formed. So let us extend these three refracted rays backwards. And okay, so these three refracted rays are meeting here. The extensions of these three refracted rays meet here, so image will be formed at this position. So I is the image. Okay. So this image I acts as the object for eye lens. Okay. So that means we have to use this lens to correct hypermetropia. So whenever the object is there, that is the object is there between H and L, then its image will be formed at H or beyond H by this convex lens. Okay, so let us correct the hypermetropia by using this lens. So now I am going to correct the defect of hypermetropia by using the convex lens so far we have taken. So this is the hyperopic eye. Okay. Now I am going to say this one is the principal axis. Now I am going to place, I am going to use a double convex lens. I will place a double convex lens in front of the eye lens. Okay. So here is L is the point of least distance of the distinct vision. H is the near point H. Okay. Now I am going to place the point object O at L. So O is the point object. This is very important. The eye lens alone cannot form its image on the retina. That's why we are taking the help of this double convex lens. Okay, now imagine that this is not there. For a moment, imagine that this is not there. Now let us see the action of this only. Okay, so here this point object O is placed between F and P. So the optic center is here, and its focal length and its focal point is somewhere here. That means O is placed between focal point and the optic center P. Okay, now these are the incident rays falling on the convex lens, and they will get refracted like this. If you observe these rays, these are the divergent rays we are getting, and if you extend them forward, they do not meet. So what we have to do, we have to extend them backwards. If you extend these rays backwards, they will meet at H. That means the image will be formed at H only. So I is the image. So what happened here? Here the convex lens forms the image of the object placed at L at H. Okay, so I is the image formed by the convex lens. Okay, and this image I will act as the object for this eye lens. Okay, so image formed by convex lens. Okay, that's all. So this is the point object. Its image has been formed at H by the convex lens. Now this image I will act as the object for this eye lens. Then it will form the final image on the retina. We can see here. Because this eye lens does not have any problem when the object is at H, from H to infinity. Okay, so for the final image has been formed by the eye lens on the retina. So in this way, we can correct the hypermetropia by using a suitable convex lens. Okay, so we have to see that the object should be placed between the focal point and the optic center of the eye lens. Then it forms its image either at H or beyond H. Then that image will act as the object for the eye lens. Then the eye lens will form the final image on the retina. Okay. So final image is on the retina. So H is the near point. What is L? L is the least distance of the distinct vision point. So here O is the original object. I is the image of the object O formed by this eye lens. Okay, and this eye will act as the object for this eye lens, and this eye lens will form the final image on the retina. Eye is formed by this not eye lens, convex lens. Okay, right. So what is the result of this figure? The image is formed on the retina. In this way, we can correct the hypermetropia. So let us find the focal length of the convex lens used in this case to correct the hypermetropia. Okay. So I am going to find the focal length of this convex lens. So where is the object? The object is at L. So from here to here it is U. Where the image has been formed, at H. So let the distance of the near point is represented by small d. So image is at H. So here is B. P is the image distance and U is the object distance. V is the image distance. Okay. Let the distance of near point is small d. So from here to here I am taking it as small d. Okay. So hence U equal to how much here? Because the object is placed at the least distance of the distinct vision, means it is minus 25 centimeters, because we are measuring opposite to the direction of the incident rays. That's why From here to here it is minus 25 centimeters, and V, the image distance, is minus D, because I let the distance of near point is D. Okay. And let F be the focal length of the convex lens used here, and here is the lens formula, 1 by F equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. Now I am going to substitute the value of U and V in this formula. U equal to minus 25 centimeter, just now we have seen, and V equal to minus D. Let us substitute those values in this equation. 1 by F equal to 1 by minus D minus 1 by minus 25, or 1 by F equal to 1 by minus D, both minuses become plus 1 by 25. Now let us take the LCM and simplify it. We can get 1 by F equal to D minus 25 by 25D. By taking the LCM and after simplification we will get this. 1 by F equal to D minus 25 by 25D. What is D? D is the distance of the near point. But I don't want 1 by F, I want F. So F is equal to 25D by D minus 25. This is very important thing I am explaining you. Listen very carefully. The focal length of the convex lens that we use to correct the hypermetropia is here. We ought to use this formula to find the focal length. In this formula, D is the distance of the near point. And here, D in the denominator, D is always greater than 25 only, because H is beyond L only, always. That's why D is greater than 25. When D is greater than 25, D minus 25 is always greater than 0. Hence F is always positive. When F is positive means it indicates that here we have to use convex lens to correct the defect of hypermetropia. So here D is greater than 25, hence F is always positive. Okay, so this is all about the, that means we have to use a convex lens to correct the hypermetropia. So this is all about hypermetropia and its correction. Okay, thank you. In the next video, I am going to tell you what is presbyopia, what is the difference between the presbyopia and hypermetropia. Okay, how do we correct the defect called presbyopia? That you will learn in the next video. Okay, thank you. So here F is positive, showing that it is a convex lens. Okay, thank you.